We have people. It's not on mute. Hi. Hi. Oh, this one has to also rotate. Oh, we have audience already. Hi, guys, can you confirm that you can hear us? Can anybody comment and tell me if they can hear us? We'll wait. Instagram is picking up. We are hoping that we get more audience on our Facebook as well. Yes, we are audible. Okay, so we will start. We'll start with the fact that I'm extremely excited to be here, and it's also nerve-wracking to be sitting next to Karan Malik, who's got about 14 years of real estate experience. He's proven his worth in commercial as well as residential real estate. Hi Karan, welcome here, the very first live of Realistic Realtors.
Thank you so much for having me over.
Thank you. Thank you. So before we start talking about real estate, how does it feel to be here live on Realistic Realtors page, Facebook page?
Oh, it's fantastic. Real estate has always been my passion. To speak about the concept is it's like a dream come true. Good morning to all our viewers, and hope you enjoy the session.
Yes, this is for sure going to be extremely informative. I mean, it's going to be informative. It's going to be a lot more knowledgeable. We have an expert here itself talking about the situation that we have faced. So, Karan, the first question I have here is: will the bounce back in real estate sector sustain itself?
I feel that the real estate sector, especially the residential segment, has seen a fantastic and a phenomenal growth in the year 2021 and 22. 2022 is going to be a similar year for residential segment. This feeling in the younger generation of having, this has happened post-COVID only, but this feeling of having a roof over your head and having your own home has actually encouraged and motivated them to go ahead and purchasing their dream homes. There are other important factors as well, like the interest rates, the home loan rates are at all-time low. The government is, as we have seen in this year's budget as well, that the government is focusing and emphasizing on the infrastructure a lot. So this has given a lot of encouragement for the home buyers to go ahead and purchase.
Okay. So is commercial real estate a good investment right now? I mean, considering everything I understand residential, what about commercial?
See, commercial, of course, because most of the foreign companies, they were being very, very cautious regarding the health of their employees. So that's the reason they had opted for the work from home culture.
Right.
But now with more than 75% of the workforce and the population being vaccinated, they're asking their workforce to come back to work. This has seen an immense potential in the commercial real estate. Cities like Hyderabad, Chennai, Bangalore, MMA, and Delhi NCR will see an immense growth in the year 2022. If I talk about numbers, 2019, which was post-COVID,
right,
it had seen a total office expansion of approximately around 57 million square feet on a pan-India basis.
Interesting.
In 2020, of course, this number dipped.
Right.
This number, it came down to approximately around 23 million square feet. But the good part is in 2021, this number has again gone up to 38 million square feet.
Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah,
that's a good jump.
With a lot of RFPs of approximately 40 million square feet being floated in the market,
Right.
2022 is going to see an immense growth. And we feel that the occupancy rate on a pan-India basis will close somewhere around 15 million square feet, which is a very, very positive figure, and which is almost 100% recovery, which was pre-COVID.
Right. Interesting. That's a good jump. That's looking really positive.
Yeah.
Karan, before I start my next question, that's something that I would want to know. How do you see work from home versus working from office? What is this main difference here?
See,
Like from a personal choice point of view.
See, pre-COVID, we used to work five days in a week, right? And we required those 2 days to just let ourselves go, to go out and socialize with people.
Right.
So office is like socializing with your colleagues.
Right, that's
Right.
true.
So I feel that the 2 years of work from home has given enough break to the employees, to the workforce, and mingling, interaction with your colleagues face to face is very, very important. So I think this gimmick will again come back.
Yes, and I think new ideas come when you interact with like-minded people.
Absolutely.
Of course, at work it's extremely different, and when you are in office and in this boardroom environment, it
True.
gives you a lot. It puts your mindset in a different set of mind. Okay.
Absolutely.
So another question that I have here that I wanted to understand from you: are commercial properties going up in value? What is a good yield on commercial property right now?
Well, to answer your question, a good yield in a commercial rented property is toggling anything between 6 to 12%, depending upon the location and the quality of the property.
Right.
Vis-a-vis a residential, yield toggles anything between 1 to 2%. So this higher yields are definitely an attractive point for the investors. And if I talk about your first question, that is there any appreciation in commercial real estate? Yes. In grade A properties, there is definite an appreciation on a longer term perspective. If I talk about the figures, anything between 5 to 7% on a longer horizon annually, plus those 7 to 8% of rental yields. Cumulatively, a grade A asset in commercial would fetch you anything between 12 to 15% annual return, which is very, very decent.
Yes, extremely. And before I start my next question, let's say someone is trying to start their career in real estate. Okay, is it a good time considering the scenario?
It's a fantastic time.
Yeah.
See, real estate is like a backbone for our country's GDP and economy.
Right.
And as I earlier said as well, that government's focus is very, very clear that they want to develop the infrastructure. They are focusing on various other aspects, housing market, commercial market, they're focusing on that. So this is a phenomenal time and a fantastic time for somebody to enter into real estate.
Okay. I hope everybody is taking tips and preparing well to enter the real estate industry. The next question I have here is, what factors to consider before investing in commercial real estate? Is it safe to invest in pre-lease properties? Because pre-lease is something people have a lot of ifs and buts before they start investing. So what should they really consider?
See, I still believe that commercial, investing into commercial and investing into pre-leased assets, they are one of the safest bets. Because the property is already built, the risk is extremely low. You can do your due diligence regarding the tenant that you are taking on board. You understand the lease terms. The major important factors which drives an investment in commercial real estate is the location and the quality of the building.
Yep.
Today, you cannot really rely upon a single tenant. If your objective is for a long-term investment, you cannot really rely on a single tenant. Tomorrow, after 4 to 5 years, if the tenant vacates the premises, how easy it is to release the property.
Right.
That's the driving force. And that really depends upon the location and the quality of the building.
Okay.
And secondly, of course, when you're buying a particular property, you of course do your due diligence of the lease structure and the quality of the tenant, which gives you very stable and good yields on a monthly basis.
Okay. So how does one decide between pre-lease or a new one? Like, what are the factors when one has to go into?
See, a grade A property, how do you basically distinguish it? How do you derive it?
Right.
That basically tells you that what is the efficiency of the building, who is maintaining the building, as in it's been outsourced, who is the maintenance agency, how many elevators. These are very small things. The basement car parks, the service car parks, the maintenance, the electricity, all these factors, they drive the grade A factor of a particular building.
Okay. So those are the factors to consider.
To look into
Right.
before you invest into a commercial real estate.
Okay. And what is the benefit of investing in pre-lease commercial properties?
See, apart from the taxation point of view, where 30% of your income is exempted from income tax, uh, of course, the monthly yields, the monthly yields which are given by the tenant,
Right.
the safe tenant on board,
Right.
guaranteed returns, these are the basic primarily.
Parameters.
Yes.
Right. Okay. So I'll also go back to office. Um, how does one decide on office space? What are the key factors when it comes to deciding on an office that they would want to move into a bigger one? Is it a sensible move right now? B, what are the factors that one should consider before moving into a bigger office space?
In terms of an investor or in terms of a tenant?
Investor.
See, it is easier to take care of a bigger office space.
Okay.
The bigger office space that you have in a good location, it is easier to release it. So tomorrow, if I talk about it in terms of the safety and security of a particular property, then having a bigger office space, of course, is a better and a safer bet.
Okay. So bigger office it is.
Correct.
Okay. So in terms of investment, in 2022, we talked about pre-lease. What should be the right move for the next quarter, given the budget has also just come?
Right.
What should investors be eyeing right now?
See, investors are already eyeing on commercial and retail real estate.
Okay.
Residential is, of course, has been the flavor of the market for the past couple of years.
Right.
But again, commercial has already seen its golden period starting from 2012-13 till 2019.
Right.
And for the past 2 years, of course, it has been a little slow, but it is ready to pick up its pace now.
Okay. So 2022 and the next quarter and the quarters after that.
I think the next 3 years, commercial real estate is here to be.
And how can, I'm now asking questions out of our conversations, but how can government help us better? Because real estate is a backbone of our country's economy. So how can government come and play a better role here to help and boost the economy? Given, COVID did have its own impact on every industry here.
Correct.
So what role can government play?
See, government is already, giving a lot of emphasis to the housing market.
Right.
I think that now I feel that our industry should be declared as an industry now.
Right.
Which was, I think, a miss in the current year's budget. And given, and of course, these authorities like RERA and everybody, of course, they are very, very positive and they've been optimistic for our investors. But I think declaring our industry as a specific industry needs more concentration from the government.
Okay, so government really need to step in and kind of put it back on the wall for us.
Yes, that's very, very important.
Yes, it cannot be overlooked for sure. Okay, so how about warehouse? Warehouse is something we've not spoken in specific. Because of people who are spending a lot of time at home, e-commerce and a lot of shopping online happened, and that kind of gave a push to warehouse.
Correct.
What is your take there? What will happen there?
It has seen an immense growth in the past couple of years.
Right.
E-commerce being one of the giants and one of the major driving forces in our GDP, they have taken huge warehouses on a pan-India basis.
Right.
The land, the appreciation has taken to the new heights.
Right.
And the investors, they actually are very, very interested in purchasing such warehouse properties, because such warehouses like taken by Amazon and Flipkarts, they have taken them on long-term lease with a long-term lock-in, where the interiors are done by all these big e-commerce companies, which is a very, very safe bet in today's market.
So, but will that impact retail? Like, how will that continue to function?
See, honestly, that the retail sector has actually seen a V-shaped turn.
Okay.
These, of course, they were really affected by the lockdowns when they were completely shut. But if you see the retail segment, the F&Bs, the shopping and the retail malls, the high streets, they have seen an immense and a fantastic recovery.
Okay.
So we were expecting that because of the e-commerce, which was of course have been a major question, that with e-commerce coming into the picture, will retail be impacted? But the answer is no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, those investors, those buyers, they still need that, you know, that touch,
Right.
that feel, that
Yes,
trial.
of course.
So retail is here to be.
Yes, being a shopper myself, I believe in that.
Correct, I'm sure.
Yeah, so but what will happen to mall, because there's still a bit of inhibition, like people are still kind of there's a certain percentage, of course, which has gained confidence in terms of shopping and stepping out of the house. But what happens to the other part of the conversation? I mean, the people who are not yet comfortable. Do you think design will play a major role?
It will, of course it will. But you know, that old concept of stepping into the mall just for window shopping, for as a family, if on a weekend, if they go in a particular mall, enjoying the cinema experience, the F&B experience, the food court experience, that will always be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's not going to go away. Is
Not
digital
real time soon. Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of digital, I mean, e-commerce picked up because of digital. Is digital going to harm or add, or how is it going to pan out for real estate?
See, the entire scenario for real estate has completely changed post COVID.
Right.
People have shifted towards digital,
Right.
and that's the that's how the real estate is going to grow these days.
Yeah.
Even in as I was talking about, DLF is one of the major is one of these leading real estate developers for the country. In fact, they have sold so many units through digitally.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
Yes.
they had actually made live videos of their apartments,
Properties,
of their properties, and they had shown it to their investors. And people have actually invested a lot of money just through digitally, because they could not actually go physically
Yeah.
and visit the sites, and everything happened digitally.
Okay, so the need was there, but to fill the gap, digital kind of helped
Absolutely.
real estate
Absolutely.
and go to
Absolutely.
the next level.
And digital is actually the next step. It's the way forward.
So digital is not going to go away, but real estate will
That's
have
the new
to,
thing, yeah.
Yes, and real estate will have to kind of shake hands with it.
Correct.
Yes.
They have to.
Yeah. So about Delhi NCR, what is happening in the current market? What is that people are expecting from these particular locations? So
See, Gurgaon is a dream city.
yes, it is.
And unfortunately, because of a surge in COVID infections in Delhi, has made people realize that why don't we shift from Delhi to Gurgaon?
Right.
So they have sold their properties, they have sold their floors, they have sold their assets from Delhi, shifted to a bigger asset, a newer asset, and a better location in Gurgaon. And they have realized it, they are doing it. That's the reason the residential property market of Gurgaon has seen a fantastic surge.
Okay. So what about tier 2 and tier 3? What happens there? You also mentioned in the first question that they have seen a huge jump.
Right.
So what is going to be their future? Are there going to be more offices, more workforce shifting towards tier 2, tier 3, or they're going to be coming here? What is the scenario there?
See, I think the metropolitan cities are going to be the focus for grade A assets.
Right.
And of course, people are actually migrating from tier 2, tier 3 cities to these metropolitan cities. So housing demand in these cities is actually comparatively more as compared to tier 2 and tier 3.
Okay.
Yeah. And Gurgaon being the biggest example.
And from tier 2, tier 3 to Delhi NCR, what is the current state of the whole country in terms of real estate, if I may ask?
It's fantastic. I'll just give you a small example. I was talking about DLF, right?
Right.
So throughout their board, starting from their small and the mid segment, because they own approximately 43% of the land bank in the new Gurgaon, which is primarily small and mid segment.
Right.
Till about their super luxury segment.
Right.
They have a product by the name of DLF Camellias on the Golf Course Road in
Right.
DLF Phase 5,
Right.
Gurgaon. They claim to have sold close to about 55-60 units in the past 6 months, 2 quarters.
Nice.
And each apartment costs somewhere around 25 to 35 crores.
Okay.
So the total sales in these 60 apartments is about 1,500 crores.
Wow.
So just 60 apartments is about 1,500 crores. So the it's not just mid and the high segment.
Right.
It's their super luxury segment as well.
Okay. So it's good. It's looking good.
It's fantastic.
Yes.
It's just fantastic.
Okay. So apart from that, now let's talk about our own organization, Realistic
Sure.
Realtors. It's come a long way, of course.
Yes.
It's been more than 2 decades that we have been here. What is the next big step? What would you want to do? What would you want the organization to do? What you want to add more value? How can we be different from what we have already been?
See, we have always considered ourselves to be portfolio managers.
Right.
We are the one-stop shop for our investors.
Right.
So we are predominantly very, very active in terms of investments in Delhi
Right.
NCR.
Right.
We would like to go on a pan-India basis.
Okay.
That's our next step. Digitization is our next step,
Right.
and workforce is
Right.
our next step. Expansion is our next step. So we in next 3 to 5 years,
Right.
we want to expand in the major metropolitan cities of our country
Right.
and do similar work that what we are doing in Delhi NCR.
Okay, that's interesting. So that brings me to the end of the session. We have covered almost everything that we had. We also spoke out of our subject also.
That was fun, yeah.
Yes, that was. Hopefully we'll do this again very soon. Thank you so much guys for joining in. It was a quick session, quick insightful session. Hope to see you soon. Thank you, Karan. I know what it means to have this valuable session with you. It was most definitely knowledgeable.
Thank you,
Looking
Shakti.
forward to
Thank you.
more
Thank
of
you
this.
so much for having me over, and thank you everyone for listening.
Thank you so
Thank you.
much. Thank you.